So this is Planetbase. It is a base building game where you have different planets. This one I'm choosing is a lot like Mars. So I heard about this game. I can't remember from some blog or I don't remember where I even heard about it, but it's a Steam early access game. So it reminded me a lot when I saw the screenshots of a game called Outpost that was popular, not popular, that I played in the early 90s. It was a game where you're on Mars and you build up your base. So I thought, hey, this looks kind of cool. It's a little more modern. It's got 3D graphics and stuff. And I like those type of building games. So this is what I end up buying. Again, it's a Steam Early Access game. I'm not even sure what the price is right now. I think it's around 15 bucks, maybe 20 bucks. Still a lot of development left. So when you start out, you obviously need to airlock. You have to do your basic requirements, to set up an outpost. So you're going to need a way to get in and out when you build your base. You're going to need oxygen, water, power. So that's kind of what I'm setting up here. And then you need a way to collect your power and store it because the sun doesn't shine at night and the wind doesn't always blow. So, I'm adding that, and you have a certain amount of resources that are in your ship. And then once you've run out of those, you can actually recycle your ship and get more metals and plastics and stuff that you can use. So here I've added a few things, but again, without power, this may not be, it's not going to power anything. So I don't make it too far into the game before all my people die. So this is my first attempt. This is kind of just a playthrough to see what it's like, check out the graphics, and just kind of fill it out. The first planet that you're on is, I think, one of the easier ones is what it appears, because the second one I've played, I've only have two, I think, that are unlocked, and so this is one of the easier ones, and I've gotten in other games pretty far. So here I am. So this is to make water. Is what this is. It's a water extractor, and you have to do connections too. You can see there. I'll click and then connect it, and that allows power and then the water to kind of flow. It's like the infrastructure of your base. So here's the large solar panel that's getting ready to go up. The water extractor definitely got to have power, so that's probably part of my area. I definitely should have done the power earlier. So here we go, and let's see what else do we have that's coming along here. Now there's power. You can see that the collector that stores your power will fill up, and that'll slowly drain. I actually like that a lot for the visual of how much power do you have. So you can tell that as you expand your base, if that thing starts going down or not filling up, you're like, oh, I need to build more solar cells or more wind turbines. You can see it's filling up there pretty well. And I've recycled the ship now, and I got the robots and the people who are taking all the stuff they need to build the next little module. So here it is, nighttime. It's kind of cool, you got your, how it kind of glows and has a feel of like being on another planet, which is kind of the draw of playing space games in the first place. So here's where we have to build the machines that let your people eat, a table for them to sit at, and then a water fountain, or they will not drink water. So you have to just kind of make it pretty obvious for them. So that's one of the kind of needs you have to meet. And you see, I've already got the mine set up to be built next. So it's all about being self-sufficient. So early on, what you're going to need is like the mines ore, and then you have another module here that turns the ore into like steel that you can use to build. And you can see as I'm clicking around here, let's see, a processing plant. It has 4 steel and then 4 bioplastics. The mine will obviously mine the ore, which then gets turned into the processing plant, which then turns it into steel. So you need that, and the other thing you need is the bioplastic. The way you get that is there are certain plants, I think wheat's one of them, that grows, and then that goes to another machine that then turns it into like plastic. And you have those 2 things, you can pretty much build any building. And then you have to get into your spare parts when they go fix stuff. Here's the inside. This is kind of a cool view if you click on it. There's not a lot in there right now going on, but once the people start moving and working, you can kind of click in and get a close-up of all the people at your base. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what we got going along here. So there's the processing plant if you want to look outside, so you can get a cool view of your planet and kind of what's going on up close. So let's see what we have here going on with the processing plant. That's building, and then I'll add some stuff to that. The connection has to be built before it gets oxygen, obviously. So I got my guys doing that. So here I'm putting down the stuff you need to make, like your steel. So we've reached a problem here where our power storage was starting to go down. So we were starting to run out of power, and that's one of those things that you cannot survive very long once the power starts going out. I mean, it's just like it's compounding. Power doesn't go out, then your plants don't grow, then your people don't eat, and then it's just, 24 hours later, everyone's dead somehow, even though they have oxygen. So here we are. We've reached survival. We've got enough buildings built that we should be able to survive, and everyone's alive. So you just go that first 24 hours to get that achievement, and then when you get it, you can click on it like I did, and it'll give you kind of a cool little zoomed out view of your base. Now it's coming along. So we're still coming along. Get the biodome here. It's been 24 hours. We need this for food. So I built some of the bigger ones. It's really not ideal. Not the ideal setup for when you're this early in the game. Right now, there's no way that I could find to upgrade buildings, and that's what I think is missing. And I'm hoping that comes in the later updates. So whenever you build a smaller biodome or a smaller one of the other buildings, and here I am building some plants. Put some plants down. There's the corn. You can see it produces some food when you click on it, and also the starches that you need to make your plastics. So that's why those are down. And all the different plants have different amount of labor required to maintain them. The tomato plants take a lot, but they make a lot of food. So, and then the corn, it doesn't take very much, but it takes a while for them to produce food. So you can see all the different people. We got some more construction going on over here. Dorms, you need this for people to rest. It's one of those basic needs. They need, food, water, rest, and then as they get hurt, they'll need medical attention later. That's going to have to be built. But yeah, the biggest complaint though is that there's no way to upgrade the buildings. So if I have like I said, a small, this is a very large biodome, but you really don't need this early. Here, I'll go inside so you can kind of see the workers here and the robot that you need some repairs done, it looks like. But there's very little, there's no way to upgrade. So I'm like, if I got at the beginning you have a lot of resources, so you don't want to build the biggest biodome. You want to build a smaller one to save your resources. But you're going to want a way to upgrade it because this is like a web of buildings. So you can't delete one without it disconnecting it from the rest of the base. So you're stuck with this really small one, and maybe you could have a better use of your land if you could upgrade it. So I don't know of a way yet. Hopefully that'll come out in one of the updates. So the mine here, you can see it's 21%. When that goes all the way up to 100, when someone's working, it'll start moving up, and then that's how you get some ore. Then one of your robots or one of the workers who's not busy will go out and get it and bring it to the machine that turns it into like steel. So that's how the whole thing works with that. So now we are day number 2. My power stores are starting to get kind of low. Thankfully the sun's coming out. So I've got some food. Looks like not a lot of plastic, so I'm not going to be building too many more buildings. And then the next thing that'll kind of get you if you're not thinking about it is your spare parts, because stuff is going to start breaking. And let's say you didn't have it set up. It takes a while for for a piece of ore to turn into steel, and then that goes to another machine where it returns into spare parts. And you also need plastic for that too. So these two resources have to go through a process to get to the final machine to turn it into spare parts. And then your power cells start slowing down. They're not making enough electricity, and then everything starts shutting down, and then it's basically into your base, which is kind of the challenge of the game, is to kind of balance all that. And then as things grow, you're kind of having to go in and see and change things and kind of organize it. So let's see, what do we have happening now? So I'm kind of concerned here. That's what we need, water. I think that was part of the problem here, is I did not build there's a water extractor. So that's going to kind of, I guess I'm running low on that. So I got that building up, but you can see here, now the plants aren't growing, and we're down to 4 food. So it's not looking good when it comes to the base here. And I don't have a lot of resources. So then hopefully that'll build up. So that's basically the first 2 or 3 days here on this Mars-like planet playing Planetbase. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna make some more with this game and other kind of space games, and just really honestly any other PC games that I feel like making videos on. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please like it at the bottom, and then leave me any comments. If you have any tips on Planetbase, I'm definitely interested, so throw them down in the comments. Thank you.